Welcome to Squatchin Holler.
In the mist where the trees lean low, Squatchin Holler's got a tale to show. Whispers creep like a creature's faint howl. Every shadow's got a secret to growl. Monsters rise where the stories are told. Squatchin Holler where the legends are born. Are they here? Are they gone? Who can say? In the holler, the truth just slips away. Huge footprints fade where the creek runs thin. A lantern sways, let the search begin. Rustling leaves, but there's no one near. Is it the wind or the beast you fear? Every echo's a question, every rustle's a clue. Squatchin Holler's got its eyes on you. Monsters rise where the stories are torn. Squatchin Holler where the legends are born. Are they here? Are they gone? Who can say?
And now, with your Squatchin Holler hosts, Roger Williams, Amanda Stowers, and Ashley Range. Remember, this podcast can be downloaded everywhere great podcasts are found. And now the show.
All righty, we're live. How y'all doing? Everybody in chat? We're doing something a little different tonight. We're going to have a lot of the Untold Radio Network hosts on and get to know them a little bit. Amanda and Ashley, they're taking a break. Hey, Miss Diane, Lee Warner, Oracle. We got people coming in the back. I want to explain something to a lot of people. I didn't realize that some of them don't know how this works. We had our old show, Squatchin Holler, on YouTube, and we moved over to Untold Radio Network. Now, Untold Radio Network, of course, is Doug Hicheck's thing, and he's gathered people together to have different shows, and all of us have different time slots, and you can go watch these shows live in their time slots, listen to all of us on your social media platforms or podcast platforms, but we also do the lives on the set night, and if we have pictures or video or stuff to show, you can see that. And I know a lot of you know this, but some people didn't. So you can go to Untold Radio Network on YouTube and become a member or join or whatever, and you can be in the live chat. So the people that'll be listening to this later, I thought I'd just throw that out there. There are tons of shows. Like, you can go back, and if something's live last week, it's still there. You can go and watch. We have Mr. Barnaby Jones and Jeff Perella and Doug Hicheck coming on, Chris Reinhardt, and maybe Dr. Dean. So we're gonna hey Leanne, yeah, happy Thanksgiving to everybody. This is kind of going to be relaxed and fun show. And yeah, Windwalker, right? It's kind of confusing, but I'm here. Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here. And we have to realize, like, even with the subject of Bigfoot or paranormal, we have new people coming in all the time, so they may not know how this works. So I thought we would explain that. And we're going to bring in Mr. Barnaby Jones and the Big Ragu, I think they call him.
Yeah, that's me. How you doing?
How's it going, guys?
Doing good.
Good to see you.
Y'all, thank y'all for showing up. I just, thought this would be a great thing for everybody to get to know some of us, and some of us get to know each other. I haven't talked
Yeah.
to Barnaby before. I watch his show when I can, and um, Barnaby, can you tell everybody you have 2 shows actually? Can you give them your time slots and what the shows are?
Yeah, I am live every Monday on noon Central Time, and I do Monsters on the Edge. Oops, this one. And we do all things cryptid and creature wise on that one. All my guests are cryptid related usually. And then on Thursdays, I also do the Paranormal Spectrum, and that is also at noon live Central Time. And that one is everything from UFOs, metaphysical, paranormal, any bizarre, weird, strange stuff on that one. So we're going to be live tomorrow on Thanksgiving. I have my mom coming on again.
Oh,
So we're broadcasting from her living room and making her do the show, because she's also a member of my team, Cryptids, Anomalies, and the Paranormal Society. So she goes out, searches with me and my team and stuff. So
that's so cool. And people, it makes a difference when you have a support group close to you. It makes it tough. I have some friends that, they've had weird things happen all their life, and they're continue to try to figure out things, and their whole family, they don't care. They don't want to hear about it. It makes it tough. So that's a great. I love hearing that. The husband and wife teams, my mom, she sends me stuff all the time. Like, did you see this? Listen, look at the comments, and it'd be something that we've talked about before. But and y'all, the good thing about Barnaby, his shows are probably around your lunch hours. If you're at work or whatever, tune in, give him a listen, and if you can't finish it up later. It's I try to support everybody and watch, and not only it's and Jeff, I see you in chat and stuff. It's not the fact you're wanting to support, but you can learn things. You can learn from other guests, and it's always good to have different viewpoints on all these subjects. And so Doug makes you do yours on like Wednesday night usually.
Well, our show was Wednesday night for a long time, and we had to move it to Sundays because my new job. I just can't get home. I just got home like 10 minutes ago, so I wouldn't have enough time to do all the show prep. So for now, we're doing it Sundays. When I get things are going to hopefully change before too long with my job, that I can have Wednesdays free again, so we can go back to Wednesdays. But for now, it's on Sundays, and it's been going great. The audience has followed us. And Roger, it's a good idea to kind of give an explanation like you did too, just to how things work. Because, you can watch live, you can watch it later. Either way, you can. I mean, my mom watches it she usually, our show gets kind of long, so she'll watch it over 3 nights sometimes. But as Roger said, man, we love people participating in the chat. Just as long as you're logged into YouTube, Facebook, wherever it's free. Please join in the chat. It's fun. It's a great conversation. All of us hosts are great at. We try really hard to make people feel welcome, and treat people's stories with respect. So I think a lot of people are nervous about that, and they really shouldn't be, because we love to talk about it. So yeah, I like that you explained that, Roger. That's what we do. We love it.
Well, what happened this week was somebody sent me a message on Messenger and said, "Man, I really miss y'all shows. You and Amanda, we watched them, and we hate that y'all not doing them anymore." I'm like, "Whoa, wait a minute. We're like 15 episodes in."
Yeah.
And I had to explain what was going on, and it hit me. I'm like, "Wait a minute. We assume sometimes that everybody understands, and it's like, if you wanted right now to start and scroll back to the beginning of Untold Radio, you could watch 24 hours a day for years.
There's a lifetime of content for sure.
Yeah, and it's the different types of guests is that's the amazing thing.
Yeah.
And by the way, thank you, Gary Spikes. You the best moderator on the internet right there. Thank you, sir.
One of the things I was going to say is, a lot of people that I think listen to the show, we get a lot more on podcast platforms than on YouTube.
Yes.
And I don't know about your show. I know Doug shows a lot of pictures and videos and stuff on
Yeah.
his. And, I think it's important to, if you're just listening to this on a podcast, to go check out the video version as well.
Yeah.
Because there's so much that you're missing, with the content of things that are being shown. And vice versa. If you can't watch it on YouTube, maybe let everybody know we are available on all the podcast platforms. Some people might not know that. So
Absolutely.
Yeah, we actually do. I think the majority of people are listening versus watching. But yeah,
Right.
Our show has a lot of video, and we do our best to try to describe what we're showing. But and if you just want to listen, that's great too. I appreciate everybody. It's fun watching everybody else's shows too, because you see a lot of the same names pop up in chat. We just got our audience is spectacular. Just great people. They're loyal fans. They provide great questions for the guests. And yeah, I just love to have more people participate. It's great.
And that's something I never expected. When we started, I had my regular green wall behind me and bad mics, and it grew a little bit here and there, and some of the same people started coming back word of mouth. And man, I've met a lot of these people that are close to me, and we've become like family. And we say that, but listen, if you have had strange things happen in your lifetime and you don't know what's going on, or maybe you do, and you want to be around like-minded people, come check out a live and talk to these people. They're here for a reason also. And we have great moderators like Miss Diane and Gary, and there's plenty more that if somebody comes in acting like a jerk, it doesn't last long. We're not going to allow people to do that.
Absolutely not. There's no.
And that's one of the things I asked Doug. I said, look, I have people that I've blocked on mine for good reason. What if they show up? And I give people chances if they show up and act right, and we don't have much of that.
No, it's pretty rare.
It is. And I think because a lot of us, the host, we're confident. We've gotten past the point of, if somebody's ridiculing, I laugh back at them. So
yeah,
I mean, it doesn't bother me, but yeah, we should meet Lee Warner, people with the same interests who support each other. And, I could say that.
Comment.
I could say that and people could hear me say that, but that's something we feel. We do. I get to miss in chat sometimes.
Yeah.
If I hadn't had
exactly what you mean. I love it.
Yeah.
It feels really weird doing a recorded show because you're looking over at chat going, there's no comments. You're like, oh man, that's because I'm not live. And it's a totally
weird. It's weird just being a guest. This is great. I don't have to do anything.
Ain't it relaxing?
It's great. Usually I'm so preoccupied just getting clips ready and whatnot. So a lot of times I can't focus as much on the actual show as I'd like to. This is great. I'm just focusing on you guys in the chat. Well, I've got everybody anything else. This is awesome.
And we're glad you're here. And
thanks for inviting me.
And we have people, they'll be like, oh, I can tell shows that don't pay attention to chat. They don't realize, like, when you're doing the show, you have a lot of things going on, right? You have to think 3 questions ahead of time, and then somebody will say something, and it changes the direction of the whole show,
for sure,
which is fine.
Yeah, absolutely, it's fine. That's preferred. I mean, we want to deliver content that people want to watch. That's the whole point. If we'll take the conversation wherever you want to go, and also should say too, if you have a story to share, reach out to whoever one of us you like. Reach out to us. You could probably be a guest on the show. I don't know about you guys. My favorite shows have been, I don't want to mention anybody's names. I don't want to embarrass anybody, but there's been shows where people have told their story for the first time. And you can just tell, and I know you guys have all had that, just the emotion, the catharsis, the release of just getting that story out with a kind and friendly respectful audience.
Right.
Those have been my favorite shows. I've had people tell stories that you could just tell this has been eating at them for years, and they tell their story and people kind of understand it, give some feedback, and you can just tell it's just this huge weight lifted off their shoulders. Those are my favorite shows. I love when that happens, and you can be part of that. Absolutely. If anybody has a great story to tell, reach out to any one of us, and I'm sure we get you on as a guest. It'd be great.
Yeah, I agree. I started this to learn because of my experiences in the past, and it's kind of, I was that person. I hadn't told my story. A few people around here knew it, close family. And then one day, I didn't know anything about podcasts, and we were listening to podcast at work. They let us, and somebody shared an earbud with me, and I'm like, this is cool. Well, on the way home, I'm like, I wonder if they have Bigfoot.
Oh, yeah, you sure
so
do.
that one question led us to here. But I was that person, and this guy was on a show. He was going to start one. He gave his contact info out, and I thought it's time to get this off my back, right?
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, it was like we say this all the time, but it was like therapy. It was like, it felt
Yes.
so good.
Yeah.
Once you let it go, and you're like, okay, now the cat's out of the bag. So I'm officially the crazy guy on the street. So
Yeah.
now they know why there's a Bigfoot cut out
Yeah.
on the fence.
Well, it's cool
But-
too. I'm finding more and more people that, again, like you said, just the comfort in having people that you know are kind of on the same page. But I've had people that I know but don't know that well, like people from high school or whatever, people like friends on Facebook that I don't know that well, have reached out, and there are people that I had no idea had any interest in this kind of stuff, but they've reached out to me and just like, yeah, I'm a fan of the show, and I'm like, wow, you're that's great. People I never would have thought of,
right.
that are picking up the show. My mom and dad like watching it, which kind of amazes me. I'm sure they're probably going to watch this tomorrow. So hi, mom and dad.
Hi, Mom.
But yeah, it's just so cool. It's a great feeling being around people that are just kind of like-minded and accept that we're all a little bit off.
Well, and no, it definitely makes you feel less crazy.
Yeah.
And I think, there was a comment that says Barnaby does it so he can talk to people he always wanted to talk to. Now, Barnaby and I's on that side of it. You're with Doug, and Doug knows everybody. So
Doug knows everybody.
it may not seem as important or fun because that's just his circle. But to me, I'm not speaking for Barnaby, but I assume if I get to speak to somebody that I watched on YouTube or some of Doug's shows for 20 years. Oh yeah, I love talking to him.
Oh yeah, I'm the same. I've had guests that I was a little bit starstruck, and yeah, Doug does know everyone. It's
everybody. Everybody. Now, so to Jeff's point, Sunday at church, I was in the restroom, I guess. We got to the vehicle after service, and Heather's like, so-and-so came up and said she was in a doctor's office, and two people were talking about Bigfoot, an older man, and said that he had seen multiple Bigfoot while hunting recently, and said he was really adamant about, and this lady at church watches the show, and I didn't know it. So she came up to tell Heather. Now, unfortunately, we don't know what county it was, but when you have people starting to come up publicly, locally, it's kind of a shock, but it's fun.
Yeah.
I go to conventions all over the US and stuff with caps and that. And, we've been doing that since 2019, my team and research and all that. And you'd be surprised how many people have never seen caps, but they know me from this show. And I'm like, oh yeah, I watch your show. Oh yeah. Which is your favorite episode? Oh, I listen to the podcast. I'm like, no, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Like, you see this big banner back here? It says caps. Like, you don't watch that? No, never heard of that.
Yeah. Well,
on my shirt every week.
Well, we take it for, that's why I want to do this show. We take it for granted that everybody knows what we know. It's like some people get to watch or listen, once or twice a month maybe, and they don't hear everything. Here's you one right here, Mr. Verax.
Mm-hmm.
That guy asks questions that I can't even read sometimes.
He was a great Verax was a great guest.
Yes, sir.
And he comes up with great questions in chat too. He's a very valuable member of our audience.
Yep. And
we love you, Verax.
Yes, sir. Now, also to the people that ask questions, and if you've got what you feel like maybe a dumb question, put it out there, because what I do, if we're all in a group, we're all in a round table and we're trying to figure out something, I'm the one that's going to say something stupid and make everybody laugh to kind of break the tension.
Yeah.
And it may give somebody an idea, or whatever, but man, who's that thug that just come into the into the mix here?
There he is. Hey man.
What's up, Chris Reinhardt?
Hey, everybody. How are you?
Welcome in.
Good to see you.
Yeah, but
Happy early Thanksgiving to all.
Yeah.
thank you. And Mr. Chris, give us your time slot and your show, if you would, and that way the people listening, like Barnaby said, they only listen on Spotify or whatever. They'll know where to see you live.
All right. I'm on Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern, and I'm Real American Monsters.
Right, Real American Monsters. And y'all, Chris and I got to hang out for a little while at some pretty crazy places here a few months ago, and I liked being around them because getting to hear the things they were trying. And Chris, I'm kind of in the middle, and Chris is trying a lot of things that I love, like with the I guess the, what do you call it, the megahertz, the
Frequencies.
frequencies. There you go. I pulled a Barnaby. No, I'm kidding. Barnaby did that before. and some of us are getting old, y'all. So if we forget a word, hey, it's free, right? So, but yeah, I had fun, with Adam and just listening to you guys talk about some of your techniques that you're trying, and I feel like that was a better trip for me. It was only an hour and a half from my house. I went down. I loved spending time with you guys.
Yeah, it took me like 3 weeks to rehab from that trip. That was a lot to get in one full week. I mean, we were all over Alabama, so meeting lots of folks. So yeah, the frequency thing we're definitely in. Adam Colt is definitely a whiz at all that stuff.
Yeah.
Jeff knows Adam well.
Absolutely.
And
Adam's a lot of fun too. Adam doesn't live. Doug and Adam and I, all the three of us live pretty close together. So I see Adam a fair amount. Yeah, he's a really, really smart guy. He knows that equipment well.
Yeah. He's the thing I like is most people that we come in contact with, we have a sense of humor, so we take this stuff seriously, but we can cut up. Jeff and I, we're close to the same age, right?
Yeah,
54?
I'm 53.
Yeah. I'm 54. Yeah. So, he's got some classic cars, or
I do,
at
yeah.
least one. And
I have 3 old cars and 3 old motorcycles. So
yeah.
I've been a gearhead my whole life. I love that stuff.
And so it's not all about Bigfoot or whatever, but,
No.
but it is a big part of our life. And the Barnaby, the ghost things. Have you noticed, like, I have people that'll, they'll say a hat or whatever. Now, Bigfoot, what do you, yeah, well, I usually hit them with this. I was like, oh yeah, well, I don't make a big deal out of it. Then I hit them with, you ever lived in a haunted house? And like 80% of the people, and you get them to talking about that. And then you can have a conversation about the weird, you get them talking about it. And so many people have had weird stuff happen in their life. And it's, to me, if I'm watching Barnaby show or Chris show, and I hear somebody talk about a personal experience, I don't care how little or how major it is, I love it. I love listening to the stories.
When
Absolutely.
we travel, my whole back of my car is all bumper stickers, and it has the big Caps logo on the back and stuff. And then the trailer is all decked out in our logo and stuff. And then the whole back door is all stickers of everything from places we've been, like Gettysburg and all the haunted locations, and then all the Bigfoot stuff and that. And we get stopped at gas stations. We've had people follow us into Walmart in other states to ask us questions or talk to us and stuff when we're on the road. And that's why we do it, because it shows you, like these weird people that have all this stuff on their car, they're open to having these conversations and talking about that. And you tell them, they say like, oh, you believe in that Bigfoot stuff? That's a bunch of crap, but this one time I saw this ghost, or I saw a UFO. Okay, well, you believe in that. Or the other side is, oh, there's no such thing as ghosts, but I saw this upright bear walking in the woods one day. He was really big, and so you get all types of that stuff, and it's really interesting.
And I know that what's fun about this is we have all of us are kind of from different regions, and Chris and I have talked. He caught some amazing audio. I had some from a couple years back, and it's kind of similar. And then you kind of can compare notes about the different regional stuff with the Bigfoot. But the ghost stuff, that's like that scares me. I've had things happen. We were at the Arlington Hotel in Hot Springs, Arkansas, on the 7th floor. Oh my God, it was it was active. Didn't go there for that, but I've been in places, and I'm kind of sensitive. I didn't know what it was for a long time,
Mhm.
but I'm kind of sensitive to different energies, and because of Chris Reinhardt, I carry a quartz around in my pocket now. I don't know what it's for, but it makes me feel better. But Chris, what are you doing for Thanksgiving?
Nothing, going to the wife's mother's house and her sister's house actually this year, and just a little get together, and then coming home and taking a nap. Probably that's the way it rolls.
That's a good
the
plan.
the
It's-
De- the Detroit line nap. That's what
yeah, yeah. Stretch pants, all the whole.
Oh yeah, get the meat sweats.
Yeah, I'm definitely getting into the paranormal side of all this now. I am hooked. I'm actually going with Al Santoriga on the December 6th to do a house in New York
Wow.
that he's been to before, and they got some crazy recordings going on right now. I'm going to play it next Tuesday when I have David Schrader on the show, and
Oh.
we're actually going to go there for my very first paranormal investigation. And then we're going to bless the home and all that when we're all done, because Al does all that stuff too. So but this crazy stuff's going on. It's got a Civil War graveyard next to it, and it's really, I'm hooked on all this paranormal stuff. And I think the tools that they use for all this paranormal stuff we can use for Sasquatch research, because I just think those full spectrum cameras are going to come in real handy out in the forest for the Sasquatch. I just think that we're going to be able to pick up.
I think you're onto something. Have y'all noticed, Barnaby, Chris, Jeff, since the solar storms and all of that, the geomagnetic storm, have y'all noticed an uptick in in activity in your areas or anything that you've done? Anybody have any answers to that? I mean, because I felt this may be just me, but during those most intense days, this is the first time this has ever happened. I felt like energy was going through my veins. Just like it at times, it was real short, thank God. But I'm like, is this something that's coming from that, or what is it? Have y'all had anything happen, or any people call you about more orbs than normal or anything?
It seems like my mediums and stuff on the team say everything, like usually after Halloween, stuff starts to kind of taper down when the veil strengthens again or whatever. But they've been talking about things aren't quieting down, and that would make sense with the geomagnetic spectrum and stuff hitting us and that. And it's really interesting because everyone's all excited about the northern lights and seeing them and stuff. And if you actually know what that means, the stronger that gets, the more likely all of our technology is going to go kaput.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, cheer on those northern lights, and your entire computer is going to go fried. So
That's,
I mean, do you
That's
really
right.
want? It's a horse apiece there, but
Biggest thing I've noticed is I'm sorry, go ahead.
oh, I was just going to say, on our team, when we go out to investigate these places, you're talking about using paranormal equipment for Bigfooting and stuff like that. When we get a report, we'll go out and investigate the area. We won't go, if somebody says, oh, I saw a Bigfoot out there, we'll go out there and look at the area for UFO, Bigfoot, paranormal, whatever. Because when you put those blinders on of trying to go in to investigate a certain topic, you're getting blinded to miss all this other stuff that's going on. So we have mediums on my team, we have paranormal on my team, we have cryptids on our team, so we go out in these areas as a group to investigate our own topics, and it allows us to bring all that stuff in and look at it from all angles. So we hopefully don't miss some of the other things that people do when they're just looking for these certain signs or certain evidence. So but yeah, go
That's
ahead.
interesting. Well, go ahead, Jeff.
Well, I just want to say the biggest thing I've noticed is I'm kind of a radio nerd, shortwave and AM radio. And yeah, you can just tell when there's increased, geomagnetic storms and solar activity. The radio reception is affected bad. So it's hard to get a late, it's not nearly as good as it was 20, 30 years ago. There's just not as much content out there. but I still like trying to find late night AM and late night shortwave stuff, and the reception's been terrible. I miss Art Bell. I think we all miss
I
Art
know,
Bell.
right? I
He was the
know.
best. Oh man, listen to Art Bell late at night was just loved it. I
That
did
was
that
the
every day
best.
for years.
I know. I got a quick story. I was listening to one of his shows, and we were about to go dove hunting, and I was the first one there, and I'm listening to Art Bell, and I'm pitch dark, and sitting in my truck, and I didn't see this guy pull up. I don't know how he got there, but they're talking about aliens, and I'm in the middle of nowhere. And I turn and look, and this guy's looking in my truck window, and I about died right there on the spot. I'm like, how did you get here? But I was already in. Now I've gotten past that point because I did a face my fears type thing. I was so scared of ghosts growing up in a haunted house that even the ghost adventure scared me, even though I knew it was just TV. So I made myself sit down one day and do a marathon and just keep my eyes on the TV. And I kind of got over it. But what I like about this group, y'all, that Doug's put together, just what Barnaby was saying, Chris, Jeff, Doug, a lot of us get out and do this stuff. We research it when we can. We try to figure out, okay, what's the new thing we can do. Chris is on top of that too. I feel like we were at one spot where we got the orb video this summer, and a guy had an EMF reader, and he's like, hey, let me check that first. And it was double what his baseline was at his area. And I'm like, what does that mean? He said, I have never seen it, just because we went everywhere. There was Chris, there was quartz all over the ground. You've probably been there now down at Hollands. There was quartz all over the ground. It's on the 33rd parallel. It's a lot of weird stuff going on. But I was glad that we had those readings to go along with the other weirdness too. It just confirms something. I don't know what, something's going on at that place.
Yeah, things are going haywire. I agree with you that actually the Earth's frequency is actually going crazy right now. It's like vibrating at a higher frequency than normal. It usually, I think it's 7.83. Is that what it usually, the Earth's frequency is registering at? Right now it's going haywire ever since that what do they call it? 3-1 Atlas. I don't even know the proper
3i Atlas. Yeah.
Ever since that thing's going to get closer to Earth, the Earth's frequency has been picking up. So it's resonating at a more, I don't know, I'm not too into the science terms, I'm a lame term guy. I'm not a college grad, but something's going on. Something's going on with all
since
that.
you brought it up, what did some of y'all's I don't know. I know I read different things, but anybody have an idea what it could be?
There's so much misinformation and stories and stuff that you really got to sift through when you're looking at the 3i Atlas stuff. And the last thing I saw was it split into 3, and I haven't checked to see if that's actually legitimate or not, but I don't know where that came from, but that was what I saw on Facebook the other day. And just siphoning off of the sun, that was legitimate. Supposedly, it, instead of like the sun pulling stuff away from it, it's actually pulling out of the sun. It got brighter. It changed colors. It's changing direction that it shouldn't. This is all like legitimate stuff that NASA or other sciences said that it has done. So
what do y'all think about? I blame it on Ancient Aliens, the show that kind of desensitized us. But the government comes out and you hear it's like, oh yeah, we have biological material, we have this, we have that, and it's crickets from everybody. So is it the fact that we're all worried about where the next tater chip's coming from, or is it we're focused on other things? I felt like that would be a whole lot bigger deal than what it was.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I think part of it too is we're just overwhelmed with information. It's just, how do you pick what to pay attention to? And number one, you don't trust any. I don't trust any source of. I mean, I don't trust any any broadcast whatsoever or any news source, but it's just so much information. How do you? Yeah, I think you're just desensitized to it. I really do.
Yeah, I do a whole presentation at like libraries and stuff on just catching people up on the government and all the congressional hearings and stuff. And there's so much information there that is just like jaw dropping that these people are coming forward and talking about. And there's, like you said, just crickets about it.
No interest.
Yeah, all the information of the stuff that they have and seen and experienced. And it's getting weirder and weirder. Like it started out just, oh, we saw a ship and this, and then the one helicopter pilot came forward and said that it made contact mentally with him, the object that he was hauling, and he got this overwhelming feeling of like just a woman's presence. And I mean, there's just so much weird stuff going on with it that's supposedly legit and 100%, these people talking about. So
interdimensional travel's real. They came out and said it.
Yeah.
And then the question was asked, can humans do it? And they're like, no, we can't. And why? Because our bodies can't can't go through the gates or whatever they're doing. And again, Barnaby, you're right. Crickets. Nobody's even registering that they say they walk among us. Nobody even thinking about it. It's crickets. Again, it's crazy. And they came out and told us point blank that that's real and they're there. And nobody cares. They rather get a double cheeseburger for $1.99 than really know what's going on. You know what I mean?
Oh, I blame people like Doug Highcheck with those TV shows and stuff.
It's Doug. Obviously, it's Doug's fault.
It's Doug's fault.
I blame Doug.
Good timing, Doug.
Hey, everybody.
Hey.
Hey, Jeff. Hey, Chris. Hey, Barnaby. And Roger. I heard the word stupid earlier. And I thought you guys were talking about me, so I thought I better pop on to defend myself.
We forgot you were everywhere.
Yeah.
Doug who?
Anyhow, I was listening to you while I was driving. That's bad. That's
bad. Yeah, that's right. Well, wait a minute. You were driving in that snow?
Well, no, I was just driving now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was pretty nasty. I just got home. I got home about 40 minutes ago. Yeah, it's not pleasant outside in Minnesota.
No.
It's not snowing too much here, a little bit, but it's windy as all get up. Like it's just pounding my house out here. So,
see, I've got something I was going to mention to all you guys. I'm curious. I don't even think I've talked to Jeff about this. Have any of you guys researched this? It's called The Discovery. It's all over YouTube. It's all over, like, I don't know, all over. Anyhow, it's about people that are taking DMT on purpose together, and then they shine a laser that's diffracted, and they see a code. And depending where you shine the flashlight, it shows, in other words, the code is a fixed object. It doesn't move. It has parallax. You can look up, you can get really close to it, and and so it has object properties. And I just wondered if you guys had heard about this.
I've heard about it, but I haven't looked into it much.
I saw a video, if it's the same thing, where they were shining the lasers
on
the wall. The wall, and if they look at it at a certain angle, it's a lot of coding and stuff, and you can see kind of past it. And they said if the laser moves, it changes.
Well, no, it doesn't change. Think of it as shining a flashlight into a different area. It lights up the code.
Oh, okay.
So in other words, if they go down, there's one code. They move it up, there's a different code, and it's fixed. It's permanent. It doesn't change. It doesn't move. It doesn't scroll. And you can go within an inch of it, and you can look at it and study it. You can see it's three-dimensional. And it looks like there's like a hole in the wall. It's quite interesting because
maybe we are living in the Matrix.
Right. Exactly. And what's so interesting is it tells us that maybe the things people have been reporting using DMT is another dimension. It's a real dimension that people go into. And I've never done DMT. I don't know anything about it, but it's actually, this hallucinogen is in every vegetable you eat. Everything you eat, if it's green, it has DMT in it.
Oh,
but our bodies have a way of neutralizing it. And so really what they're doing is taking a neutralizer, if that makes sense. You're not,
yeah.
so you're eating those. If you had a salad today, you ate the drug. You ate tons of it. Like there's enough hallucinogen in a stick of celery to kill you.
Wow.
And so like when they drink ayahuasca, that's basically neutralizing or deneutralizing the effect. And I just wonder, that was one of the most interesting things I'd ever heard.
I actually watched. I believe I watched that video twice, and one comment said, she watched it or they watched it and didn't quite understand it. I kind of knew what it was talking about. I've talked to a couple people that have done the same thing with the mushrooms. I've never done anything like that, but they're talking about the weirdness of the experience, and it doesn't make me want to do it, but I am curious about it. So if you want to do mushrooms and we can take it.
Exactly. No, but you know what's the most interesting? They can put 8 people in a room and they all see the same thing.
Exactly.
Oh,
See,
that's
that's
wild.
never happened in history. So it may be the biggest breakthrough in unlocking other dimensions.
Who's doing the study though?
It's a guy by the name of he invented the process. His name is Goler, Goler, Goler. Very few scientists have any interest in it. Like there's been no interest at all. Kind of like the Bigfoot mystery. They don't give a crap. You could have 20 Bigfoots in your backyard and they'd go, no, I'm not interested.
It's just
Yeah.
amazing.
So he's had a hard time finding scientists to even try it, to even look. But many journalists have, and they all reporting the same thing. Like it's real. It's not it's not part of the hallucination. It's as real as anything on your desk. So there you go.
Wow. Yeah, I wasn't familiar with that. I'm gonna look into it. That's interesting.
Yeah. Just look up The Discovery, and then you can watch a ton of different interviews. And apparently there's a new doc coming out, a film on it. So anyhow, you guys were talking about Three Guy Atlas. And
But Chris, so we've talked a little bit, and I know that all the rest of y'all talk about this, but I'm wondering how all of this could be connected, like all these different subjects we talk about. Is it something that each individual is capable of seeing, or something that's happened to them, or is it, that's my big question. I'm like, why does this stuff keep happening to me? And you're talking about a glitch in the matrix. That could be like what deja vu might be. I've had that happen so many times,
Right.
and it's scary. But the more you talk about it, all these subjects, the less scary it gets. And then you're like, well, what's going on? What's really going on? And
well, I've had so many experiences where there's like a glitch in time over and over and over. I mean, it happens like once a month. And these glitches are quite real. Like an example, we're downstairs playing ping pong with my daughter, and we hear Yvette coming home. Hear the garage open up. She comes in. We hear, making dinner, pots and pans, silverware. And then I'll yell up and go, hello or whatever. And there's no answer. It's Yvette from another time. She's not really there.
I had years ago, I was old enough to drive. I was cleaning the back of our store, and I had the door open going outside my dad's truck, and this white fluffy dog come walking in. I thought, oh, somebody's dog. We're on the interstate. We had a store on the interstate. They're gonna leave without him. He went in this room.
Yeah.
Where there's no exit, and of course I'm being cautious. I'm like, come on puppy. There's no dog. I saw him plain as day go into that room, and there's no exit.
That's exactly. I'm just curious, Barnaby, have you experienced like any glitches like that, time glitches?
Yeah, it's like a lot of my guests and stuff talk about it being more like a time slip, where you're not actually experiencing paranormal or ghosts, but you're seeing through another dimension into either the past or the
Right.
future. and it's just kind of weird. But I've noticed a lot of things like little dark shadows moving around lately. Just like out of the corner of your eye, you'll see something move, and it's happening, going back to that geomagnetic situation and stuff, and more frequently. There's been a lot of that in my life of seeing
that could be Jeff sneaking around your living room. Could be.
Yeah,
Could be. You never know.
Doug's throwing that away. It's really Doug and his camera.
Yeah, it could be.
It's like,
I had a guest on one time, and we were talking about residual hauntings, and then we started talking about the one Bigfoot track that's always found. In the middle of the field, there's one big. So what if that's a residual haunt? What if every 10 years that whatever makes that footprint walks on that same spot, and just that one time there was mud there and left that print, and then 10 years will go by again, and then nothing will ever happen again. Now, there's another slip in time, and that could be attributed to all that stuff. It's going to this other side with Bigfoot, it just opens up a whole different another ball game. And,
it does. It makes our heads explode.
Yeah, it's not enough that you already you're on the other side of it, and now you're on both sides, and it's just like, whoa, what's going on?
well, a lot of y'all have been around this a lot more than I have as far as studying this. And I remember, sometimes there may be one line in a documentary that'll stick with you. I don't remember what it was, but they were at Gettysburg and the paranormal crew, and somebody said, and I had no exposure to this up right at that point. They're like, well, we think it could be the quartz, the memory, and the residual haunting and replaying. And I'm like, wait a minute. So then I start looking into quartz a little bit, and I'm like, oh my God, I didn't realize at the time how much we use it to store information. So, I don't remember anything else about that documentary, and I don't know who did it. I'm sorry if somebody knows whose it was, but that stuck with me. And so then you go years later, and you talk to Chris, and you talk to people about these different areas and the makeup of it. It kind of, the quartz, it keeps coming back up for me. And Doug, let me ask you this. I read this. I think quartz is neither a solid nor a liquid. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
I would have no idea. I've experimented with piezo quartz crystals, like for underwater microphones and for making electricity. Quartz is magical, right?
It really is. Got some
But
strange properties.
I'm not really sure about its matter of state, but
Quartz-
obviously it's a solid. And it would take immense heat to melt quartz, but it could be there. It's like glass. Your windows are always melting. They never stop moving. A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah, glass is a liquid.
Yeah, it's
Sure.
a liquid. And so if you go look at an old house that's 300 years old that had glass, you'll see the bottom of the glass is getting thicker and thicker.
Yep.
Like it's thicker there. And so quartz is kind of like that, but we're talking maybe a million years. But yeah, it's moving, but very slow, much slower than glass.
Quartz vibrates at a higher frequency, so the molecules aren't solid; they're in a constant state
Right.
of motion.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
it's that's what you're kind of getting into as far as like it not being a solid or a liquid or anything. It's just constantly vibrating. It's
But
very
how magical! Every time we go to start our grill, you click the knob and it goes click, and it makes that spark. It's just a little piece of quartz in there,
I didn't know that.
and that lights your charcoal grill, or a quartz lighter.
Quartz watch. I mean,
quartz
watch.
watches, the way
You put juice through quartz.
Yeah,
That's so they keep time on a watch. Yeah, it's crazy.
It vibrates exactly at a
That
certain
doesn't matter. Yeah, even if the voltage changes, it still vibrates
I
at the
know.
exact same rate. That's how watches work. It's amazing.
I would imagine
Who
DARPA.
figured that
and-
out? That's
yeah,
crazy.
I would imagine like DARPA guys it does nothing. I'm sure they have a whole department just working with quartz because it's magical. It really
Or other
is.
exotic materials too. Who knows
Yeah.
what they're working on?
Oh man.
I would love
You
to
know,
know the percentage of what's underneath the ground at all these sightings across America. I mean, paranormal to Bigfoot, I bet you the amount of money, about 90% of it has quartz underneath the ground, or quartz veins or aquifers that
Yeah, there's a map you can get, Chris, and you can just look where the quartz deposits are, and we have done that. and looked, and yeah, they actually coincide with a lot of the Bigfoot hotspots,
Interesting.
which is kind of
I
crazy.
know one of my Native American friends. He's not in here right now, but Kenny. He's from South Alabama, and they said their medicine bags, they'll have, usually some quartz in there, and they were coming from Arkansas. It was him and 3 friends, and there was at least one medicine bag in the car, and they were about to cross the Mississippi River, and there was an explosion inside the car, and it ended up the quartz exploded inside that bag.
Really?
And I was wondering if it maybe y'all are a lot smarter than I am. Maybe the energy off of that river, or the is it negative ions or whatever it produces. I wonder if that could have caused that quartz to explode.
I would imagine it could have, but quartz, like a lot of natural rocks, are under internal pressures that can just explode. Have you guys ever had what's it? The Pyrex? Pyrex glass will explode just sitting there in your cupboard. It'll all of a sudden, just for no reason, it'll just explode and sit there and crunch and grind all on its own as it's releasing its internal pressure.
Yeah, there's stored energy in that quartz structure. That's how the Prince Rupert drop. Is everybody familiar with the Prince Rupert drop? That's when you make that drop of glass in cold water. It's got some crazy properties.
Really strong.
Yeah, it'll stop a bullet, but if you just break a tiny piece off the tail, the whole thing will shatter. And that's wise, because it has, when it cools, it stores an enormous amount of kinetic energy in it. So as soon as it cracks, it kind of explodes. And quartz kind of does the same thing. There's in that matrix of the crystal, there's stored tension that, if you do break it, it's going to release all that tension.
So, I mean, there's no way to
Pretty
know,
wild
Roger,
stuff.
but yeah, it could be some magical thing that happened. And it just, I mean, really, if you're as old and you think a lot, you're going to start at a certain age, you're going to start going, anything's possible.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you think that the areas of these high quartz and stuff are active for like the creatures and phenomenon going there, or do you think it's causing something in the humans that are allowing us to see
it? Yeah, that's a good
question. Great
question. Yeah, Barnaby.
Now, Barnaby, I'll tell you, I think these guys know. I've told them. We caught an orb on video with a thermal, and it was pretty crazy. But after we started like going over what happened, just before that, we were at Holland's, Chris, and I went and gathered up some quartz off the ground, and it was pitch dark around midnight, and I started arcing it to make coal fire just to show them. And then all this crazy stuff happened in the next 25 minutes or so, 30 minutes. And, I get back home to Tennessee, and we're telling the story and everything. I'm like, wait a minute. Did I cause that? Or was that, that something curious to come see what was going on? But that's a great question, because I'm wondering, I've wondered if it kind of draws certain things in, maybe the energy or whatever. But that's a good question. Maybe it opens something up in us to where the things are there already. We're just seeing them. That's a great point.
Well, they spend so much money on, they're trying to answer the question, why is a weasel's tail so long? Which doesn't help anybody, really. There's a lot of money wasted in science, tons of it. I couldn't even begin to think of how much money is wasted here. And many of the real mysteries they ignore because they're mysterious. That's why they ignore them. They worry they can't answer them, the questions.
They can't make money off of it.
Exactly. Well, they can't get a grant. Yeah. But you would think they could, you would think. I don't know of any people that applied for a grant that wouldn't get it. Who's that doctor? Is it Bob Pyle? Who's the guy that we had on, Jeff, that movie's based on? Robert Pyle.
Robert Pyle, yeah, The Dark Divide.
He applied for
Great
a
book.
scientific Guggenheim grant just to do this and study Bigfoot.
Study butterflies. Well, the grant was to study butterflies, but he made it into a Bigfoot expedition.
Did they make a movie about his life?
Yeah. Great movie.
I saw that. Yes.
Yeah, it's a great movie. He was a great guest, and his book is spectacular.
But he actually he put the Bigfoot mystery in there in his grant.
Did he?
Proposal.
Okay.
Yeah. I think what you're thinking about is the movie in real life.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, he
used
really
the-
was.
He
a
was, but
lepidopterist. You don't
when
get to
he
use
put
that
his
word very
grant
often.
in, it was to study the Bigfoot mystery.
Yeah,
So,
Wow.
but anyhow, he was a really interesting guest.
yeah, great guest, outstanding.
Yeah.
I highly
Jeff,
recommend his book.
Jeff, you don't know what number show that was, do you? No, I'm kidding.
Oh, I
I'm
don't
joking.
recall, but if,
Joking.
if I could probably find it. Yeah, but
Oh, you're
yeah, if you
good.
just look
You know,
up, if you just look look up Robert Pyle, it'll show
Robert
up.
Pyle and the
And
Untold
yeah,
Radio Network.
it was a great show. I could have talked to him all night.
Yeah.
Just a brilliant guy.
But so I just don't think any scientists are applying for the grants. They're afraid to even apply.
Yeah.
Well, how does one apply for it? Couldn't just normal person apply for it, or you got to be a doctor?
Well, you have to. You're probably going to have to be an academic because you're going to have to write a paper on it.
Right. Well, you got AI now. Anybody can write a paper.
You're-
you know.
That is true.
Well, all you got to do then, Chris, is assume the name Dr. Reinhardt.
Get AI to make a diploma for you, and you're cool.
I get invited. Look, because I did that research on pregnant female black bears. It's hilarious. I get a letter a week inviting me to speak at a gynecology conference. And they always call me Dr. Doug. Every letter, Dr. Doug, Dr. Douglas Dichek. And I'm thinking, I think I just could assume that identity.
I won't tell anybody. Go for it.
Secret safe for me.
Who's gonna
Go for it.
Oh, Dean's in the chat. I don't know if you knew that.
The doctor.
Oh, hey, Dean. There he is.
Dean, we want you in the show.
Did
in.
anybody,
I sent him a link in Messenger.
come on, Mr. Dean?
Your link to get on the show is in Messenger.
James
in.
Bond of cryptid.
Pardon?
I call him the James Bond of cryptid.
Yes, he is. He is definitely James Bond of cryptozoology and ufology.
You
He
guys
has,
ever-
did you know Dean? Okay, Dean has a doctorate in ufology.
Really?
I didn't
Yes. Yeah.
Did you tell him I wanted to have him on my show?
He did his thesis on that.
Well, if you're listening, Dean, I want to have you on my
Yes.
show. Doug never told you.
Oh, you never asked me to tell Dean.
I just talked to you too. What last week about it? We talked about the
Oh,
Matrix
wow.
stuff. Remember?
That was in the wrong dimension, Chris. You got to get in the right dimension.
Yeah, you got to catch him on a good day when
See, all
he's
the-
400 people going on at once.
Yeah, jeez. Anyhow, it says, okay, I'm going to pop on in a bit. How
All right.
long are you going to be on tonight? He's asking.
Just however long y'all want to go.
At least another 5 hours, Dean.
Yeah. We
Maybe
can
6.
we can alternate and take restroom breaks and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, gee.
So let's go back to Barnaby's question here. I'm still thinking about that one. Do you think it is the area, or do you think it is the person that brings the multiple interactions? What do you guys really think about that? I think it's a combo myself.
Well, the first thing, Chris, you got to think, why are those hot spots? Yeah. My guess, if you go to those hot spots like I have, they're beautiful areas that often have a lot of boreal forests and just mixed forests on those quartz areas. So there's a lot of forested area because, once again, where are you going to build? If you're going to start a city or you're going to build on a river, you're going to build where it's flat, cheap to build. They get into these rough, rocky areas where there's a lot of quartz deposits. They just don't build there because it's too expensive. Yeah, there's cabins and stuff, but so it's good habitat where these quartz deposits are.
I know. I never thought of that. That's a great answer.
It's great habitat.
Yeah.
There's a lot of quartz up at Snell, tons of it up there.
All right.
Lots of northern Minnesota too.
Yeah, northern Minnesota is really good. Lots of Bigfoot up there.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's like what's the reason? Is it but you do find quartz generally in more rugged areas, harder to build on. Let's put it that way.
Right.
And if you don't build, it's wilderness.
Then you touch on the individual end of it. Now, so a certain person can go to this area and not experience anything. And then there's some person that can go there 6 times in 3 weeks and have multiple interactions just for some reason.
Right.
What do you think that's the person's individual vibration or their vibration?
I don't know. I also think somebody, and it sounds weird, but I think somebody should start getting the nationalities in the background, the ancestry of the people that are seeing a Bigfoot. Because there could be a pattern there that we don't know about.
Sure, that's a good idea.
I had a question, like Chris asked, why me? Why the ghost? Why the UFO? Why the Bigfoot?
Right.
Whatever. And I started looking. I went Ancestry. I went to 23andMe, I believe. I have Neanderthal DNA. I've got O negative blood type. I've got all this stuff going on that people say are weird. And I've got like 4 or 5 of these things. And I'm like, I don't know what it means, but I started looking at me individually. Also, I have Native American blood on both sides of my family. I don't know, but I've always felt a little different. And I can walk in a house and maybe, let's say 10 people, and 2 of us can feel this negative energy and want to get out like right away. And other people are just oblivious to it. I don't know.
Right. Yeah. But I just think it would be really interesting to, if you could take every witness that's seen a Bigfoot and get into their ancestry and start charting them, it would be really interesting.
Yeah.
Blood type too. You could probably, do your blood, that'd probably be the easiest step right there,
Yeah.
If you had to start asking that question, you had a Bigfoot say, "What's your blood type?" and then just start
It
logging.
could be blood, could be anything. Yeah.
Let me say, okay. So once I figured that out, I didn't know what it meant, but we were in chat one night and we had a lot of people. And I said, how many of y'all are, negative, RH negative or whatever? It was like, guesstimating like 80%. Well, it's kind of on the rare side anyway, but yet we're all gathering together. And some of them felt left out. Well, I don't have that. Well, you need to figure out why you're attracted to us in this subject.
Right.
So I don't know what the answers are, but I'm trying to figure out any connection at all. And listening to some of y'all shows, I mean, I come away sometimes with a notepad listening to shows. Barnaby and I had I was watching his show yesterday, and a great question popped up, somebody that's in my region, and it's something simple, but I know Barnaby's going to follow up on it and ask questions, but it's just you have to expose yourself to different, I said earlier, to different ideas and different mindsets to grow in the subject. So look at all these O negatives popping up.
I just going to comment on that. That's wild. That's really rare.
Yeah, I'm O negative too, Roger.
Are you?
Yep.
That's extraordinary.
I got goosebumps, y'all, because yep.
I mean, that is extraordinary.
Chris,
that's
what are you?
Really rare. And that's another one. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in chat plus 2 here.
I'm O negative too.
That's unbelievable.
Barnaby, what are you?
B positive.
Good night, Barnaby.
Are you sure?
I'm A positive.
Roger, give him the hook.
That was I got a drum roll on my machine over here. I wish I had that.
For all we know,
A
B
positive, but I do
better.
have Neanderthal DNA.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I don't know is okay. So if we go somewhere and there's 10 people, I've been, let's say, researching or investigating in some highly active places, and then people are putting out recorders and they're doing this and they're doing that. And I remember one time my wife, she said, "You want to go for a walk?" I said, "Not yet." It didn't feel like the right time. And then I said, "Yes, let's go." I turned my phone on recording, and 1 minute and 33 seconds later, we had 3 Bigfoot howls. Chris had heard the big one. It sounds similar to something he caught, which is a lot clearer. But it's almost like something was holding me back. Like, no, wait. Okay, now let's go. I can't explain it. It just may be my, I can't explain it. Let's stop right there. But I've had people call me lucky. I don't know if it's luck or, like Chris and Barnaby, y'all talk about, maybe it's the individual person.
I think we're all touched.
I do too. Southern, my uncles used to say tatched. They couldn't.
Attached. Yeah, we're attached. Just a
We're
bit
attached a little
attached.
bit.
That's
No,
another.
that's crazy how many are O negative here. That's
How much? Well, are you all negative, Jeff? I couldn't.
I'm A positive, but that's just crazy.
Okay,
to
you and
see.
Barbie need to leave. You and Barnaby are
All right.
gone.
No.
Well, like I said though, I do have Neanderthal DNA, so I got that going for me.
You do?
I do, yeah.
I don't know.
And
Yeah.
I was shocked when that of all the things that came back, that was the one thing that shocked me was it said that of all people that had Neanderthal DNA, I was like 60% more
Yeah.
than most.
I don't
or
remember the
whatever.
number, but I was above average.
Is that a good thing to be part
I don't-
Neanderthal?
Well,
I don't know.
Yeah, I think so. Neanderthals were smart. They were smart and they were tough. Yeah, I think it's pretty cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
And a
Well,
lot of people now we're finding. We're just learning recently.
Can I
that
just call you Chromie then?
I could talk a long time about Neanderthals. They get a bad rap. They weren't dumb brutes. They were actually
No, that's
pretty,
true. I
pretty
mean,
smart people.
they
And then
didn't-
I've been reading lots about Denisovans lately. That's a crazy theory about Denisovans, and we're noticing that modern humans have Denisovan DNA, and that's a really interesting hypothesis for explanation of Bigfoot is Denisovan DNA. That's pretty cool stuff.
Yeah. I just got a letter last night in the middle of the night because it's from Russia. So I got this letter. I won't read the whole thing. I'll tell you. Hold on here. It's kind of interesting though. It came in from a gentleman who has got a little bit of money raised, him and somebody else, and they retested Elena, right? If you know who Elena is, the supposed half Bigfoot woman that was captured, or like a Bigfoot, a female Bigfoot that was captured in Russia, and then had a baby that was half, whatever, half not Bigfoot. And Zawit really was a person. I do know that, and they somehow got DNA from Zawit, and I tested it once, and it came back inconclusive.
Of course, yeah.
But he sent it because you got to remember, back when I was doing Monster Quest, DNA was in its infancy
And expensive.
But he sent me a letter. Let me see if I can find it because it's back about 100 emails from last night. He was looking he's looking for funding. They need 25,000 to do it. He's working with the Copenhagen. It's a primate. They do primate DNA there. In fact, it's one of the labs that I'm going to be using for one particular sample. And here it is right here. I got this letter at I got just another follow-up letter from Richard. Did anybody know Richard Soul? Richard Soul. He was on the mailing list too. But anyhow, so it's a really interesting thing. He's trying to raise 25 grand to see if Zawet is related to something they can't identify. Because if they could, it would give like even me a comparison with our DNA. So we'll see. I mean, this DNA thing, it's always something every time. Nobody can ever get like the full picture. I never got the full picture. Apparently he did another study. He didn't get the full picture, but it keeps encouraging you to do more.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So he's looking anyhow, if anybody wants to look into it. But I wish I could get his first and last name. I'm not familiar with him. It's Vladimir. Anyhow, Richard Soul, and Soul is spelled Soule, and I have a feeling Richard would steer you to these people if you want to donate a little money. Yeah, because Richard Soul says, I wholeheartedly endorse this approach. So there we go. Anyhow, enough of that. But you never know what you're going to get in your email.
I
Especially
can imagine.
You
Yeah, I
get some
know,
crazy
right?
Stuff.
Yeah.
No, it's. I tell you, I swear to God, you're sitting there eating your Raisin Bran, trying to get to bed, and you're reading all these weird letters that you're getting, and you're thinking, "Holy crap, I'm living in the X-Files."
Did any of y'all think that at this, years ago at this point in time, we would be talking, because about these subjects live? Because I mean, I grew up in a time. I'm not going to talk about Doug, but I grew up in a time where, the phone calls were, old rotary dials and all that. I mean,
Oh yeah.
and the technology we saw was like Buck Rogers and Star Wars and future stuff. And this is pretty amazing that to me that we're scattered all over the country, but we have people from all over the world in chat right now. And I remember seeing, and I'm not saying this just because Doug in here, but I remember seeing like Monster Quest and being like, oh my God, like something I was really interested in. And it exposed me to some of the different stuff in the different regions. And did you do one on the Chupacabra? That's I believe it's the one I showed my dad, because I'm not going to get into the story, but there was something close to my house similar to that, and it was in pain.
The goat sucker.
It was cold, and I put it out of its misery and all. And my dad, we couldn't figure out what it was. Didn't have a camera back then, and it looked similar. When I saw that episode, I said, Daddy, you got to watch this. And he said, man, that looks like the thing, up behind your house. But I thought, 99% sure it was a mangy coyote, but man, it didn't look like it.
Well, yeah, but then there were a bunch of people that were saying mangy coyotes or chupacabras, and yet the reports of chupacabras have nothing to do with a coyote, a coyote without hair. These were creatures with spines down their back and big eyes and kind of more monkey-like creatures that were in trees.
Right.
Fangs. I don't know who in the world came up with that connection. And that just threw the whole thing off.
Yeah.
I mean, all the research got derailed at that point.
Wow. And I remember one of the oh crap moments watching Monster Quest. You did Thunderbirds also, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That was one of my favorite episodes. Yeah.
Okay. So when that episode came on, it originally aired, I'm watching it and I'm like, oh no. In 3rd or 4th grade, a guy from here we went to school together all through, 12 years, but he never told any crazy stories or anything. He came back from the weekend. We were 3rd or 4th grade. He said, hey guys, I saw a pterodactyl this weekend. I'm like, I don't know what that is. But he was telling me, we looked it up, picture and everything. It was huge or whatever. Then I see Monster Quest. And not only was it the pattern that showed the storm that came through, it went right across Middle Tennessee and went up north. And it was also the same time period. And
we were talking back in the 70s.
And the late 70s. And the next time I saw him, I was like, Eric, did you see Monster Quest? And did you see this show? And he's like, I did. And he said, that's what I was talking about. So, see those sightings, that's never been reported, so how many other people saw these things? Just like Bigfoot. But yeah, I was glad to see that. And stuff like that got me hooked on the show because of some of the correlation between things that happened in my life. So.
Yeah, it's a real interesting mystery, these big giant birds, because me and Yvette saw some big giant winged thing that swooped at our car. You've heard that story. Have I ever told anybody? I don't know. Yeah. Anyhow, we don't know what it was, but it was huge. It dropped straight down out of the sky. It swooped at my windshield, came right to the windshield, and Yvette ducked, and I ducked eventually because we thought it was coming right through the windshield. And I got to look at it. It didn't look like a bird, but I could have been mistaken. If it was a bird, its wings were wider than both lanes of the freeway.
Wow.
So was that a thunderbird, or was it a giant pterodactyl? But I swear to God, I remember seeing a humanoid face with pointed ears. Almost like
it's interesting because I've talked to you and Yvette about it quite a bit, and both of you, the story's been consistent.
Yeah.
You tell the story a lot more calmly than Yvette does. It rattled the heck out of her. I mean, it scared the crap out of her.
Oh, yeah.
It affects her to this day. It's amazing.
Oh, yeah. Trust me, I can't take her anywhere at night.
Yeah. I mean,
if there's woods anywhere near, they ain't happening. I'm like, you're safe in the car. You're safe in the car.
It rattled her.
Doesn't matter.
It's yeah.
She ain't going there.
I found the more weird stuff that's happened to you, the more it takes to shake you up. So you know,
Doug doesn't get rattled too easily, but
No,
yeah,
but you think about that often because you're like, well, why didn't we get to see that, or was it just a random coincidence?
right.
You know. And speaking of weird, here comes Mr. Talking Weird himself.
Dr. Dean.
Greetings, everybody. How are you doing this rather cold Thanksgiving Eve night in the North Woods here? The snow's belting down, as I'm sure it is in most of the places you gentlemen are too.
Yep.
Cold and windy.
We don't have snow, but I can smell it down here. When that Arctic blast comes down, it's a different air. So I know people would think that's crazy, but you can actually smell it today.
So you live in the forest, don't you, Dina? You live in the woods. I mean,
Yeah, I have a cabin in the woods.
yeah, it's so cool.
Which is cool. I like it here. You know, they're always keeping an ear out for squatches and the like. Whenever we hear a noise, I always joke with my 9-year-old daughter who lives with me. And you think that's a squatch? Sometimes she does, sometimes she doesn't. But it's an ongoing gag. We've had a lot of owls here lately. This season, for some reason, the owl population must have exploded, or there must be a migratory or a seasonal thing with owls. We don't normally have this many, and some of them hoot like monkeys. And when we're out late,
Barred owls,
yeah, when they start hooting like monkeys, that's when she thinks it's a squatch or something. And then she gets scared and she runs inside. She doesn't normally get scared of stuff, but the idea of, a squatch hooting at her in the woods is probably a little bit too much. So then she's like, let's go inside.
If you want to ruin your life, Dean, all you got to do is go out there and do like 3 wood knocks one time, and your cabin will be on the map forevermore.
Gosh, I bet.
You've never done that, I bet, have you?
No, I think I talked about it once, maybe in comments on your show, Doug, and I think I mentioned it maybe on Talking Weird. My girlfriend was here one night, and we were both out on the porch. And there was, I don't know what it was. I've lived here for almost 10 years, but I'm not down with every kind of North American animal. I'd certainly never heard this before. It was a very deep, strange growl, and ongoing for a while, not very far, like in our front woods or on the other side of the road where there's also woods, not in my backwoods. And we were like, what on earth is that? And I jokingly, of course, said it's probably a squatch. So I whooped, you know what I mean? I'm not somebody who's out there squatching, but I certainly listened to enough of you guys and watched enough, Monster Quest and Finding Bigfoots to know how to do the whoop. And I did the whoop, and we got a knock back. We got a tree knock then. It was the weird. And my girlfriend, who's lived in this part of Wisconsin her entire life as well, she hunts, so she's used to being in the woods. She doesn't freak by much. She was like, I've never heard anything like that growl. And when we got that knock back, she was just flabbergasted.
And this is right by your homestead.
Yeah. Right.
So, okay. Well, obviously, if you have woods, water, hills, you have water nearby.
Yeah. And interestingly, the late Linda Godfrey, in her book, Weird Wisconsin, which I bought when I first came to this part of the world, she talks about a Sasquatch encounter very close by to here. It's actually in the book. And when I was reading, it was like, it's between this town and that town, the book says, and I'm like, that's literally where I am. And then I read more of the report, and I worked out, I know where that is. And I drove just up the road and around the corner, and there's the cricket came out of and wandered up into this people's property. So yeah, there's Squatch reports around here.
Are you east of Eau Claire or are you west of Eau Claire?
We are to the east of Eau Claire.
Okay. That's that's a good
Beautiful
area.
area.
It's a really good area.
Dean, before we forget, you want to tell people that are listening, they'll be listening tomorrow, what your time slot is and what your show name is?
Oh, sure. I appreciate that, Roger. It's Talking Weird. It's 9 p.m. Thursdays Central Time on the Untold Radio Network. And I haven't got a guest tomorrow. I'm always a guest-driven show, but I thought I don't want to bother anybody on their Thanksgiving. So maybe people will pop in. Maybe somebody wanted to jump in and say howdy, but I'll just be talking weird, literally, for an hour or so, like I usually do. And I like to keep those holiday commitment dates to the people who are the regular listeners in case they're at home doing nothing and want to tune in. So I'll be on tomorrow, 9 p.m. Central.
All right.
At 9 Central, I'll pop in for you, Dean.
Oh, that'd be wonderful. I'd love to. I didn't want to take anybody away from their family dinner or anything.
Please.
You're
I'm joking.
volunteering.
I'm joking. I'm going to the in-laws tomorrow. So.
Oh, I'll send you a link then, Doug, in case you.
Yeah.
You got to be like me. Force your family onto your show on the holidays. I got my
there
mom
you go.
on tomorrow. So.
I get my mom who's visiting. In fact, that's what I was doing. We were watching, myself, my daughter, my mother were watching Trains, Planes, and Automobiles, the greatest Thanksgiving movie ever made. And on Christmas, I do the last 2 years. My mother's also visited for Christmas at this period of the year, and I have her on the Christmas episode. So then it's a very family kind of Christmas. Oh, Kim Kincaid will be there. Excellent. Thank you, Kim.
Yeah. So what, Dean, I almost called you Mr. Dean. What we did, early on, I explained kind of what Untold Radio Network was. I had somebody approach me and they thought I wasn't doing the show anymore. And I realized that a lot of people that listen to this on like Spotify and whatever don't know that we may show pictures or video and where to find us. I just assumed, and like a lot of people do know, but we have new people coming in all the time. And I thought this would be a great opportunity to put that out there. And that way, maybe some of those can come over and see what we're talking about when we're live. So I appreciate you coming on. It's nice to meet you finally.
Nice to meet you too, Roger.
It's
I
been
appreciate being on the show.
Oh yes, sir. I try to. I was telling the guys earlier, I watch a lot of the shows when I can because I'm still in the new phases of this, and I'm trying to figure out what in the world's going on. So I appreciate y'all. I mean, Chris has helped me a lot, even before this. Doug, I can ask him questions, and Jeff also. So I won't bug y'all too much, but I might ask y'all some questions. Barnaby and Dean.
Anytime, happy to help.
Sure, hit me up too.
Okay. And Dr. Dean, I'd like to have you on my show as a guest soon.
Oh, I'd like that. Yeah, just are we friends on Facebook? If not, just get my contact via Doug. I'd be happy to come on.
Yeah. No, I'll get your info. Yeah, no, cool. Look forward to that.
I appreciate the invitation. And if any of you guys are free tomorrow night and want to jump on, you all can get into the network anyway, so you don't even need an invite. Just come on and I'll see you and I'll bring you
on. This is an interesting question I've never thought about. Have any of y'all heard of a Bigfoot having a tail? I've never heard anybody talk about that.
I could tell you a tale of a Bigfoot.
Let it rip, Chris.
No, that was my Barnaby moment right there. With the be positive. That was my. I can tell you the tale. You get it? No, it's not good. Is it?
And
all right, I tried.
And this comment here,
Roger, you should back up. Why in the world how did you come up with that question?
No,
there's a reason for it.
It was asked in chat.
Oh, somebody in chat asked.
Yeah.
It's an interesting question.
Yeah, I've only seen 2, and that's a lot apparently. And it was 35 years in between, so I didn't get to see.
I believe dogmen have tails.
Yeah, I was just going to say dogman accounts. You hear that a lot. People talk about a tail. With
Isn't
a big
that right,
bushy
Chris?
tail like a wolf or something. I've heard that before.
Dogmen have tails, don't they?
Sure.
I've heard both ways on Dogman that some of them do, some of them don't, though.
Yeah. Yep. I've heard both too. Or seen both. Yeah.
But there's a lot of different variations of the Dogman creatures, anything from the werewolf to Anubis to hyena. So you have a lot of different sighting reports based on the characteristics of them. So.
Yeah, I agree. It's not quite as uniform as Bigfoot sightings.
And then I think Roger was going to ask Dina something about blood type, weren't you, Roger? I'm not going to because of HIPAA laws.
Well, we're not in the medical field. So, Dean, what blood type are you, if you don't mind sharing?
I'm O negative.
Get out.
All right. Good night, everybody.
That is extraordinary.
Tell them, Doug. And look, somebody in chat said, "Look, I'm A whatever." That's what I was saying. It's like 7% are O negative, but we had 80% in chat. So that has to be something to that. It could have been 90%. It doesn't mean that we're leaving you guys out that are like A positive and all. There's a connection there somewhere that you might can figure out why you're connected to us. It's just, Dean, what I did was I started wondering why things were happening to me. And I did a DNA test. I come back a large, well, I don't know how large percentage, but Neanderthal, O negative blood, and some other things. And I got Cherokee blood on both sides of my family. And when I started looking at me, things started not making sense, but they're just more questions. And then I just asked in chat one night, we had a lot of people in chat, like, how many of y'all are O negative? And it was like amazing, the number of people.
That is
And
incredible.
I'm not saying that it is something. It's just odd that a low percentage of O negative people get together and talk about strange things.
I've certainly heard theories that people with O negative might be more likely to be abducted by aliens, or that O negative might be some original genetic type from when, the Anunnaki or the ancient gods or whatever interfered with our DNA. So I've certainly heard people posit the significance of O negative blood. I don't have any particular theories myself about it.
Right. I was like Jeff. He's just learning it. That night, I'm looking at all the, the hands, like me. And I just couldn't believe it. Now, I can't tell you what it means. It's just something for somebody like Doug Highcheck to look into, right?
Yeah, that's just crazy. That's
It's
the first time
nuts.
I've ever even heard about that, and that's amazing how many O negatives there are in this community.
Yeah. And then
It's just incredible.
once Red Cross finds out you're O negative, it'd be like Doug's emails at 1 o'clock in the morning trying to.
You'll be getting some phone calls. Yeah.
Yep. They won't leave me alone. But
we probably just broke every YouTube rule.
Oops.
We're gonna go out with a bang, Doug.
Not a contest.
But
Not a
It's the important thing. Not a contest.
By the way, Verac sent a thank you letter for the not a contest.
Not a contest. You didn't win anything because it wasn't
Not a winner,
contest.
not a contest.
Everybody send Doug a DNA sample. We'll get on that.
Nice.
That was funny.
Please don't.
Please don't.
Yeah.
How's your new film coming along, Doug, by the way?
It's coming. We just keep shipping off more samples, or we're just waiting to get all of our lab stuff done. I can't do anything. I have no control over it. I mean, as many times, like how many times can I call these people and bug them? Like, when is there, they work on different timelines than we do. It's like, I have a film. I can't do the film until you get the results. And they just they don't even give a damn. They're just like, well, we're doing it as quick as we can. And there's other things ahead of you and blah, 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 So we just paid a bunch of money, was donated, to try to speed things up a little bit. So it's all we can do is just keep trying.
No, I know. I'm looking forward to
get results. Yeah. But I'm sitting here with 32 terabytes of footage now.
Wow.
And I just need to get the ending done. It's the ending. The beginning's done. Just need the ending.
Well, that's what stays with people, I think. So you've whatever.
Actually, what we could do? We could just do it like a lot of other things. We'll just not. We'll be. Thank you. Good night, folks.
Enough of this crap.
Yeah, the results will be in next year.
Yeah.
Next season. We've talked about that. It's like, God, maybe that's what we have to. I'm like, no, we can't do that. I have to have the conclusions at the end. I've got to do the same thing we did before. And that doc was, numerous years in the works too, but it was a much smaller scale. This is much bigger, and I'm doing it with far less money. So you got to kind of wait till money streams in, and then you get it, you get something out. Just to send a crew out for like 4 days now, it's cost me well over 15 to 20,000.
Good grief.
Just a 2-man crew. It's not like an extravagant crew either. It's just a sound guy and a camera guy.
That's why I solo shoot all of my own stuff. I can't afford anybody else.
Yeah, I remember, how happy my boys were. We hit goal of 80, and I'm like, well, yeah, that'll get us through 2 or 3 shoots. But what are we going to do for the rest? And they're like, oh, you'll figure it out. Just like, thanks, guys. Thanks.
Your GoFundMe or Kickstarter still running, Doug?
No, well, yeah, you can still donate. People can still donate money. Absolutely. I mean, once you hit goal, then you can just keep it up, and you can keep, people can continue to donate. But we did make goal right away, and which I was actually amazed we did, because you just think about how good some people are, how nice they are. Think about the people in Super Chat that donate money. It's awesome.
It's so kind.
It's just beyond kind, because, there's nobody sending them a bill. They're doing it out of the goodness of their heart, and not because somebody's forcing them.
Well, Doug, how do we donate? Verax, he wants in.
Oh, you just go to Hanger One Publishing, and just go to Legend Meet Science. It's right at the top, and then there's a donate button, and you can donate right there.
That's cool.
So
Well,
we have
wait.
another. We have some really amazing samples yet that we have to send overseas. I've already got the same samples. We had 8 of the same thing, and a lab. It's got everything. Got confirmation they got them. Supposed to have results on that one in January, but it may be the best sample anybody's ever had in history. It was blood, and it was collected, highly vetted. I'm happy I can tell this story real quick. It was found in the left footprint only. So it was a little foot injury. There was a blood drop. And it was noticed because they had followed the trackway to a cliff. There was a butt print. Butt print was huge. The grass was just lifting off the butt print. I mean, it was starting, you know what I mean? You know how grass does when it starts rebounding. And he looked over the cliff that it was sitting at, and there was blood on a rock where the left foot would have sat. So he went, oh, left foot blood. I better go check all those tracks. So he went back, and sure enough, there's blood in each left foot.
Wow.
So we have the photos of the footprints, the photo of the blood in the footprints. We have everything. So it's highly vetted, right? That it's not like a deer, because a deer, if it was a deer that, the thing had hunted and was carrying, it probably wouldn't end up in just the left footprints.
That's the link there. Even though it's not my show, I'm still pitching in to do what I do. That is the address to get to the page on Hanger One to donate. So you can donate there. You can pre-order the DVD and the book, everything. That's the place to do it right there.
Yeah, it's hard. When I was doing Monster Quest, I mean, you're getting funded by the network, and I could just go to them if I needed something special, if they felt it was worthwhile. But man, being on your own like this, it's just brutal with costs so high. When our hotels now are like 400 or 500 a night in these bigger cities.
That's crazy.
Well, the upside though is you're in complete control. Nobody telling you what to do. So.
Yeah, which is good, because if people are patient, they're going to get a really good product with some really good bar raising results. But if I rush it like you have to do with a network, you get Monster Quest,
or the network limited you for time and that kind of stuff. So you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, I mean, look at all the great stuff we shot up at Snowgrove, Chris.
Yeah.
Over 2 visits. We shot a ton of great, amazing stuff. And then what happened? The cabin even got wrecked on one of those shoots by Bigfoot again. And so what do? We find a hair. So now we've got another hair right directly from Snowgrove, right in association with, the doors being ripped apart.
Right. That was a great find too.
Yeah.
Right on that original door.
Yeah, on the original door. And it's not an animal hair. It's not bear. I mean, I know my hair. It's not bear. It's not human. It's like human hair, but it's got a tapered tip. It's naturally worn. It's got no medulla in it. And we only collected 1. And I'm just waiting now for the right lab that's going to take that hair, because that hair was collected right away. Yeah, it was out of the sun right away, and the mitochondrial on that should be really good. And I've got it stored properly in paper, and you know,
Tweezers, gloves, everything. We
yeah, we
took it.
did it correctly. We collected it correctly. But that's just one of many examples of all the amazing things that have happened because of the delays. So I look at it that way, and I just go, well, there's a reason it's being delayed. The blood, we wouldn't have had blood.
Yeah.
The hand, we have a whole,
Hmm.
we have an entire hand, guys.
Yeah, I sent in a hand.
And you can tell them the story, Chris. I think people will find it pretty interesting.
So I have a friend of mine. His name is Don Monroe, and he lives up in the Montana wilderness. And the local sheriff up there at the dump got a report of a hand that was found at the dump. So he went out to go investigate it, and he looked at it, and he knew it wasn't an animal hand, and he knew it wasn't a human hand. So he said, who could I contact to get this hand and get it looked at? And he called Don, and Don went and he collected that whole hand, and he had it for a few years, and he stored it in
It was frozen.
in alcohol for a while, and then it was frozen, and then he gave it up, and he said he wanted to know exactly what it was. He wants to know what it is. He doesn't care if it's a bear or it ends up.
And in 2 years, we have not even had the quick test done on it.
Mhm.
And I've talked to them over and over and over, and now I've got it promised. It's like, these quick DNA tests don't take long to do. All that does is determine, oh, it's not a bear, or oh, it's not a human. And so I'm still waiting for the damn quick test. It's been how long? 2 years, Chris?
2 years, yeah.
We've been waiting. It's not anything I'm doing to delay it. It's just
Right. And Don's a bear hunter, everybody. He does guided trips. He knows bear paws, and his buddies know bear paws, and this is not a bear paw.
it looks like a human hand with hair, a lot of hair on it. Yeah.
So hopefully, knock on wood, it comes back.
And it apparently went to the police. They determined it not human, so they didn't want anything to do with it.
And then we got X-rays too, the X-ray pictures of it from a doctor, and it's just not an animal, and it's unknown. So
This will be in Legend Science too. So once again, that's still even the delay, the COVID delay got us the hand.
And that I like Lee Warner's question. What blood type is the hand?
Yeah.
We got to know.
It's so negative. It's so negative.
probably.
Man.
So anyhow, I've just the whole Legend Science thing. There's nothing I can do. As much as I'd like to, I'm not in control of these big labs.
Right.
It's going to be worth the wait, though. It's like none other. It's like a production that nobody's ever seen on Bigfoot ever before. Ever.
I'm
Worth the
excited
wait.
for it, man.
It'll be worth the wait, and it can't go on forever.
Do we have a Untold Radio Network private preview? No, I'm kidding. I'm joking. I'm joking.
That would be that would be cool, wouldn't it?
It
We
would be
think
cool.
about that a while.
I'm in.
Yeah, you can fly us all in, and we'll spend the weekend at your place, and we'll.
Get 1 million live viewers.
Yeah.
You should world premiere it at Midwest Weird Fest in Eau Claire with me, Doug.
So Lee says, I bet $1 it's Oneg. Yep.
Tell
Me
Yvette
too.
you got 20 guys coming to the house for the weekend, and we're all bring our sleeping bags and world premiere.
So one of the excuses we heard on the hand was the tech can't do anything with it until they get a rabies shot. I'm like,
Rabies.
what?
Hmm.
Whatever. I'll go along with it. I'm not a scientist.
I had it in my fridge here at the house in the freezer. I mean, I ain't getting no rabies shot.
Yeah. And yeah. Could you imagine if somebody would have grabbed it and thrown it in the microwave thinking it was
Ooh.
a spare rib?
Oh, no.
Had to do a
Little
pack
barbecue sauce on there.
it all in dry ice and send it with baby diapers in the box, all these precautions to get it there. I'm
That's a
waiting.
good question. You think you'll ever get the hand back?
Well,
He's not going to say anything. That's
I ain't gonna say nothing. For all we know, it's been confiscated. It's in a vault in Washington D.C. at this point.
Yeah, no kidding. I'm sure we're already on a bunch of lists already. What are you gonna do?
Oh man, you know what? Is that what the guy was talking about on y'all show Sunday
What? Oh,
about,
Oh,
yeah.
about
government
the
stuff.
government?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
I'm
have
sure
no.
we are. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, we were at the LBL a couple years ago. We had a pretty good turnout, and I don't know how many times the black helicopters came over and circled us at night. Just to, I don't know if they're
Mm,
keeping an eye on us or they're keeping things away from us too. That could have been a possibility.
keeping an eye on Dean.
Yeah.
Oh,
We got the guys everywhere.
We've had locations that I've gone out to that black unmarked helicopters have flown over us several
Yeah.
times.
mm-hmm.
I had
Yeah,
one
when-
at my house for 15 minutes one night after having Sasquatch activity right out my back door, just hovering over my apartment. Just life is like, it was unreal. It was crazy.
Adam had the same thing. We're setting up that big 30-day camera thing up in Grand Rapids area in the National Forest, and all these black helicopters were flying over the top of Adam while we're setting up cameras. And then even an internet truck came into the National Forest on a dirt road and then jammed the signal for a long time until Adam went up to that rig and they frickin' took off. And then, suddenly everything worked again.
Thanks, Charles. Appreciate that. That's awesome.
I'm excited. Adam invited me to help him set up his project in the spring this year to set up the teepee where he's headed. He's got a new place to go, so he invited me up. So I'm going to come up for a few days and help him set up camp. I'm excited.
Yeah,
for that.
I'm hoping to camp with him up northern Minnesota too, with in the teepee.
That's cool. Yeah, I hope you're there.
The only problem with the teepee, it doesn't keep the bugs out, the mosquitoes out, because it's
Yeah.
got about a foot off the ground. So have fun, guys.
He's making it so the wife can come up there and work now. So he's decking it all out with bathroom now and all this stuff.
Oh, gee.
I haven't seen it yet. He's excited about it. He loves that thing.
Yeah,
I
he
really want to
does.
see it.
Adam loves his teepee.
Yeah, he really does.
Chris, when y'all were on the way to Alabama, I didn't know he was with you, and y'all stopped somewhere at a Buc-ee's and you took a picture of his vehicle. That's the coolest thing ever. I thought y'all just happened to meet somebody. It looked like a Jurassic Park vehicle, but Bigfoot.
We met at that same point within a half hour of each other, and he left from Minnesota and we left from Ohio, and we met at that same area where we're going to meet within a half hour of each other. It was crazy.
He said he had didn't he have people approaching him and asking him questions about the Bigfoot subject?
Yeah, giving us reports. We had two old ladies pull us over, had our pictures taken with them, and by the end of the visit, one of the ladies goes, "Oh, you guys changed my mind," and got in her car and left. It was the coolest thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I was gonna make a point for people in chat and people that are listening. When we say black helicopters come to check, they're not being secretive. They come in low and they make sure they're there. So, and even with that thing with Adam, Doug, I don't know if that was a type of intimidation thing or what it was, but obviously they didn't want to talk to him. So it just blows my mind that we all kind of know that they probably know everything, but when that happens, I mean, I had a lady, I worked at the jail right out of high school, and she was from Texas. And she was a female correctional officer. She was an older lady, really, really sweet person. And we were in the tower one night. It was boring. And she started telling me about her granddad, who was Air Force officer, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And on his deathbed, he told her that he had seen alien bodies in a hangar and that they're real. And so the family was confused. Like he wasn't on his way out and didn't delirious on meds. He called him in. He said, "I want to get this off my chest." So I don't know if that guy ever told, I don't think he ever told anybody else, but just to get to listen to that was like a privilege. And how many other people, how many other stories? I'm sure Doug gets to hear a lot privately. I get to hear some, and I'm sure Dean and Barnaby, all y'all, but it's amazing that all these stories are out there. And that guy, what got me was he didn't want to die with that secret. And it was such a touching story. And then he scared his whole family and then passed away. So, but that says a lot if that's one of the last things you do.
Yeah, that's a heck of a story. Unfortunately, gents, I'm going to have to go though, because my daughter goes to her mum's for Thanksgiving tomorrow, so I should spend our kind of Thanksgiving night with her before she goes to bed. So I'd like to be able to tuck her in and things because it's getting closer to her bedtime. But I hope everybody has a great Thanksgiving. Thanks so much for inviting me.
Happy Thanksgiving, Dean.
And if
Good to
anybody-
see you.
Thank you. Nice to meet you. Have a good
Lovely to
night.
meet you all. And if anybody wants to hop on Talking Weird tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Central, you're more than welcome.
And I'm going to send
Right,
you. I'm
thanks.
going to talk to you soon too, Dean. Have a happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you, Chris. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you.
You too.
Thank you.
So, Doug, you got any funny production stories from the Monster Quest days?
Oh God, just jillions of them. Probably the fun, kind of the weirdest, the worst thing that ever could have happened to us. Couldn't have been any worse. Okay, so you remember 911, right? And you remember they shut all the flights down. I was same thing. I was just about to start LMS one for the first one. So that we have this big disaster. They shut all the flights down. Well, before that, I was working on a snow documentary, all about snow. It was called Deadly Beauty, Snow Secret Life, and it was about avalanches and the different types of ice and snow crystals and the animals that live under the, the Nivian world under the snow, right, in the winter. The snow bugs, snow fleas, on and on and on. I mean, I was just, no one had ever done a doc on snow, and so I wanted to do this. Well, one of the things we had in our dock was a lot of avalanches. And I built a cabin and then put cameras in the cabin and then had an avalanche. We had to use dynamite, right, to do the avalanches. You do dynamite. Drop it. You light the fuse in the helicopter and you throw it up.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Well, that's how you do it. So, okay. Yeah, I don't want to talk too much
That's not
about
dangerous
this.
at all.
No, I don't want to talk too much about it. But anyhow, so we're at the airport. I'm just going to flash forward now. We're at the airport. I meet Steve, my camera guy, who's the mastermind behind the avalanches, right, and all that stuff. He's really fuses fearless. So we're at the airport, and they want to X-ray all of our gear. So he opens all the cases and everything's cool. Everything's cool. He opens the camera case, and here is this probably basketball-sized ball with foam and tape all around it, right? And I said, Steve, you didn't unwrap the camera. What are you nuts? I said, you realize this is right after 911? And of course, I know the camera's covered in gunpowder. And I also know there's an egg timer in there.
Oh no!
So there's a ticker in there, and it's covered in gunpowder. And I'm like trying to yell at Steve out of the side of my mouth, going, "Why didn't you take the time to get that all cleaned up?" And we talked about cleaning up the camera before we left. It's a film camera, not a video camera. It's actual 35 millimeter film. And in fact, if you guys see any avalanche, every movie you've ever seen with avalanches, like you go to a movie, Vertical Limit, that's all the avalanche footage that we shot. It has never been done because it was a special technique with an egg timer, right? And the film camera, and then you go up to the top and you work with avalanche control, and you go in the helicopter, and then you throw dynamite out the window and get the avalanche, and then it comes towards the camera, but then the camera's on an egg timer, so it triggers it. Yeah, anyhow, make a long story short, that was not a good scene. The guy was freaking out. He thought for sure it was a BOMB, and he's shaking, he's screaming, and he's calling the bomb squad. Of course, I don't blame him. Look in the x-ray, it's a timer, and it's covered with gunpowder. Explosives, other things, other things. Yeah, it wasn't good. Anyhow, that's how I started my first shoot for Legend Means Science. That's how it started.
I was picturing that they let y'all through and got this little lady with 2 bottles of water and had her cuffed. I didn't know.
Well, the funniest thing, then the guy grabbed a knife and he's shaking so bad. He's starting to cut the foam in the duct tape, because it's all wrapped a million times, and he's just. And he's shaking. He's so scared. And I'm thinking, he's got the bomb squad coming. I'm like, what are you doing? I know it's not, it's not anything dangerous. It's just a film camera. But he
Wait.
doesn't know that.
Wait on the bomb squad. Let them do their job.
Oh my
you know?
God! But he was shaking. He's trying to. Oh, it was a disaster. And I'm thinking, okay, this is good. This shoot is starting to be really good, right? And then we went to New York. Okay, so then we get to New York, and I've got to interview Dr. Esteban Sarmiento, and I'm going to interview George Schaller, who is the head of the World Wildlife Fund, about Bigfoot. And these are rare things to get a guy like George, somebody of his stature, to agree to an interview about Bigfoot. But he had an open mind, and I was going to meet him at the Central Park Zoo and interview him at the Central Park Zoo. And then we had to go to the American Museum. So we get to New York, and after this harrowing flight to get there, and we're driving to our hotel that was booked by, Joe, right? Jeff?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So Joe arranged our travel plans.
Mhm.
So we're driving, and it's like, oh man, are people supposed to be spitting at your car and throwing rocks at your car?
No.
And Joe's like, yeah, I don't think so. And I'm like, I think we're going into a really bad part of town, Joe. I think we need to turn around because there's a guy with a 2x4 is going to hit our car. We need to leave. We're not welcome here. And so he had our hotel right there. We were going to stay there. We wouldn't have lasted one day. So I said, turn around, take us to Manhattan. We'll just stay down right in Manhattan. And so we did. And then we had the first shoot was to go to the American Museum of Natural History. So this trip, I'm like thinking it can't get any worse. And we haven't even shot 1 foot of film yet. So we go to the museum, and it's the American Museum of Natural History. It's a big deal to film there, big deal. And we get up there, and we unload the car, and we have our little fold out truck, to wheel all this heavy gear. And the lady who was in charge goes, "Oh, you can't use that. You have to hand carry your gear," and it's like,
Oh no.
2 blocks away. Okay, so it's like, oh, well, okay, we'll carry the gear. And she goes, by the way, you can't use any of our electricity. And we're thinking, well, how are we going to shoot it? We need electricity with lights.
Mhm.
We have to have our movie lights. I mean, we had big lighting systems. She's like, you cannot use the thing. In fact, if you even try to use our electricity, we will have you thrown out, blah, blah, blah. They were doing everything they could to make us not be able to film anything about Bigfoot and interview one of their scientists. So they're making it hard. So long story short, Steve goes, no problem. He goes, I got a bunch of batteries. So he had a bunch of batteries he had snuck in there. And so we went in, we did our shoot. We had batteries for lights. And we got the shoot done, and then we get out, and our car's been towed away because we forgot we parked in a no park. So I'm just like, oh, guys, this is just not good. So anyhow, but that's Legend Meet Science 1, first day 1.
I was wondering, Jeff, I want to ask this. Do you have any funny Doug stories for us? That you can tell. Let's put that you can put on.
Oh golly!
I put him on the spot, y'all.
Yeah, don't say anything about those lifesaver gummies.
I have a lot of stories, but I'm not sure if any are really appropriate. Honestly, our best stories our best stories. We kind of talk about in the intro to the show. Just my favorite Doug stories are that he's such a nexus of strangeness. It's just, he's like a magnet for the wild, weird, and wonderful. So
I can tell you a really quick, or Jeff can tell the story about how I met you because it has to do with Bigfoot and pizza.
Well, yeah. I mean, I actually, it's interesting that I pulled up the Legend Meet Science 2 donation thing. I actually donated that. I participated in the Kickstarter for that.
You didn't know me.
Before I met you.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, what got me into Bigfoot in the first place was watching the original Legend Meet Science, 20 some years ago. That's what got me interested.
The one I
beyond,
almost died making. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, beyond the casual,
Almost got
beyond the
arrested in an
casual
airport.
interest, and yeah, it's just kind of a crazy story how we met because
it's weird.
Well, yeah, it's I got to think here for a second.
Well, I went to the Minnesota Bigfoot
the
Research
Bigfoot
Team's
conference up in Grand Rapids.
conference.
Yeah,
And I was a speaker, and for the VIP dinner, they took us to Sammy Pizza's with Jeff
Sammy's
Family.
Pizza. Yeah, it's my
Jeff's
family
family
store.
owns. Okay, so we go there, and I'm like, God, why would he have a VIP at a pizza place? So we go there, and it was like the best pizza and the best chicken wings I've ever tried ever in my life. And I'm really old, right? And so it was like amazing.
You are old.
I was so amazing. I was like, oh my God, I couldn't quit thinking about that place. And to the point where I wanted to drive 4 hours to go there. That's how good it is. Okay. So I get home thinking about it. John Badger goes up to investigate a Bigfoot sighting in Grand Rapids. And I said, John, stop at Sammy's and get me some chicken wings and pizza. And so, but then Yvette heard me and she goes, oh, there's a Sammy's right down the road. I'm like, what? I'm like, oh my God, really? So I called there. I was like, okay, John, you don't have to get it. I call them and I get delivery, a bunch of chicken wings and pizza. And I eat till I'm really full. And then the next day, Joe, I've got a meeting with Joe. So Joe comes over and I say, Joe, do you want some leftover Sammy's chicken wings and pizza? So he goes, yeah, that'd be great. So I heat it up. I mean, this is what happens. He goes, the guy that owns that place wants to meet with you. And I'm like, what? He goes, the guy that owns Sammy's Pizza wanted to meet you. And I'm like, what? So that just didn't make any sense. The whole, the circle.
Yeah.
The coincidence, all the coincidences.
Well, yeah, it turns out a gal who worked for you. Well, she works for Metro still.
Yeah.
Is I introduced her to her fiance. I know her really well. So we had talked about stuff. So yeah. So
and that's your best friends.
One of my best friends. Yeah. It's his fiance. And she's a great gal. She still works for Doug's sons. So anyway, that's kind of how we met. Is they're like, oh, by the way, yeah, this guy wants to meet you. So we met, and the first night we met, we went and we hung out. I don't know, it's past midnight. Just talk. It turns out we've got a million things in common. His mom is from my hometown, which is kind of wild.
Yeah,
his cousin taught me how to fly RC airplanes. This is when I was a young teenager. I mean, we have so many connections. I mean, the drag racing connection with Fred, and I mean, we both been to the same resort, that you
in
go
Mexico, in the middle of nowhere in Mexico.
Yeah, we went to the same resort in Mexico on Lake Bacharach. We've been to the same. Where Snell Grove is.
Roger, this is a place they shoot at you, right?
Yeah,
this is like in the middle of cartel country.
It's in the middle of the Sinaloa cartel.
Yeah. It's insane.
It wasn't as bad when we went. It was getting bad. You can't go there anymore. But it's the best bass fishing on the planet.
I went there because I was doing an outdoor show, and the host says, "Oh, we got to go down there. We got invited.
It's incredible.
And, it's all free, and we can go, and blah blah. He'll fly us in, and so we go down there and do this thing, and I end up on the front page of the newspaper in Minneapolis here, the Star Tribune, the big newspaper here, with my shirt off, casting. And it all goes, and I remember I get on the airplane, and there's a woman reading the newspaper, and she goes, "Oh, this is really interesting." It was on the front page of the page. This is a really interesting place. I don't know. We're talking about it, and we get done talking about it, and I go, "You didn't happen to look at the cover there, did you? Of the front page picture?" She looks at it. She goes, "Oh my God, that's you." And so anyhow, so then his dad sees that article.
Yeah, and we went fishing.
And drags Jeff down there.
And I've also been fishing at the same resort that they go to Snell Grove, that resort up in Ontario. I've been to that resort.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just crazy. We found out we've crossed paths. I used to work at an ABC affiliate in Duluth, Minnesota. He was freelancing out of there. We don't remember meeting, but we certainly crossed paths. Gosh, that was 30 years ago.
Then I find out you're a customer of Hangar One.
Of all of his, I'm a customer
yeah,
of
all
his
the
companies.
companies
Yeah,
that I
crazy.
started, he was already a customer.
Yeah, slot car stuff, the publishing stuff. I mean, the classic auto restoration parts. I mean, we've got just a million things in common. So yeah, the first time we met, we just sat up and chatted past midnight, and we've been great friends ever since. And so I just realized I just hit a year doing the show. It's just been a year now.
Yeah,
it doesn't seem like it's been a year, but it's been a year.
I've only known him 6 months, and he's been doing the show for a year.
A little longer than that, but
it's funny
it's been a ton of fun.
It's a small world. I remember the first time Doug and I talked. My family had a store on the interstate for almost 30 years, and we live 50 miles south of Nashville. And I asked Doug, I said, "Have you ever traveled up I-65 and whatever?" Because I'd seen the high check on a credit card or debit card, and thought, man, that I don't see that much. And come to find out, his brother worked at a auto plant not 25 minutes from me, and it possibly could have been him. I mean, which I don't know for sure, but that was kind of wild. Like, oh wait, he worked at.
It was a Saturn plant, wasn't it? Yeah. He was. He's the one that designed all of the assembly line, the artificial intelligence assembly lines. That was the first plant in the world to use the AI.
Yeah, and I know that
a form of crude AI.
One of my buddies, his dad, he designed the paint department, so they had to work together. I mean, you would think. So I just wished we could go back in time, a little bit, but it's odd. Chris, does that happen to you or Barnaby? Like you would go somewhere just on a whim and bump into somebody or somebody that that you had no clue?
Well, don't you feel we were supposed to meet Chris?
Yeah, a bunch of people now. I've come to that realization that it was bound to happen.
Yeah.
The way Doug and I met, he did my show, and then I said something. My bucket list was Snellgrove. He goes, "Well, let's go." I'm like, "Well, don't tell me let's go because I'm going to go." He goes, "No, seriously, let's just go." And that was it. We went, and then we went the next year again, and we talk all the time and become good friends. And never in a million years, I'm watching Monster Quest. Way back when you used to watch it, would I ever guess that I have Doug's number on my phone and I could call him whenever, just to say hi and talk about family stuff or anything like that. So,
yeah, I know exactly what you mean. It's like, Doug Hijack's calling me. That's
cool.
We're not
kind
trying
of a big deal, Doug.
Kind of a big deal, yeah. I mean, I felt the same way. I'm like, y'all know how all that happened. Chris, then Doug was on the show.
That's exactly how I felt when I was scraping grease off an engine today.
But guys, I gotta go. I got a turkey to cook tomorrow morning and stuff to fixing, and
I gotta check out pretty quick too.
Yeah, this would be a good place to end it. Thank y'all for coming on. I appreciate everything y'all have done, everything y'all do, and chat. Thank you guys.
I gotta mention Barnaby. I met you by coincidence too.
I was gonna say I was so excited to see that we were both at the same event together. We were at the Minnesota Para-Unity convention. I got the big banner for my sign up there.
Yeah.
And it was really cool meeting you. It was so nice and stuff.
Well, he was like the friendliest guy, and he just kept coming over to talk to me. And I'm like, man, this guy's nice. And then he had this name, and then anyhow, there we are, right?
Do you remember the thing that stands out even more beyond that is that across from you was Lauren Coleman.
Yeah.
And you told me it was the first time you ever met Lauren.
I had never met Lauren.
I have pictures from my booth of the two of you standing over there talking, because it was so cool to say, like, Lauren Coleman is such a big name in the industry and stuff, and then here's Doug Hijack, who I grew up watching Monster Quest and that.
Yeah.
And the fact that you two had never met, I'm like, oh, this is historic.
Well, we had talked on the phone for, 30 years, but we had never met in person.
Yeah.
He lives on the other side of the country.
I was like, I can't believe it. I'm like, he was on Monster Quest. How did you never meet him?
Oh, yeah, I never met him, no. Yeah. But anyhow, so I met Barnaby by accident, too. And I don't remember how we met, Roger. I don't even remember.
That guy sitting right there with the blue behind him, Reinhardt.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
And I never give Chris credit for anything.
You
Right,
always-
Chris? I never
But-
give you credit on
No, you
anything.
never
Oh, it was Chris Reinhardt. Thank you. So, if it wouldn't have been for the coincidence with Chris, it wouldn't have led to the coincidence with you. And I can say you guys have both enhanced my life greatly. So I appreciate it.
Well, I want to do a Thanksgiving show so we could all give thanks, but that's kind of what we've been doing, not officially, but just thank you to everybody. I mean, I appreciate having connections with you guys. If I run up on something, I sent Doug a wild picture today. I don't know what it is, or we don't know what it is, but it scared me, and we left. But to y'all, everybody have a great Thanksgiving tomorrow, and enjoy your family. Be safe, and just check out some of the shows. Now you know Barnaby. He's got you lunchtime covered. So Chris,
Tomorrow
you got
noon.
Tuesdays. We don't know Doug and Jeff. They're all over the place. So no, I'm kidding. They're on Sundays now.
And please
But,
participate in chat, everyone. To participate, just dive in. You don't got to be afraid. Just make a comment, ask a question. We love having the questions. We love it.
So Hillary stays on me here. She said, "You cooking that country ham?" Y'all, I found a country ham in a cabinet that's been there like 3 years. I didn't know it was in there, and it's still good. And yes, I am. I'm putting it in some green beans. So there you go.
Nice.
You from West Virginia, so you know about that. But yeah, I wanted a lighthearted show and to get to know each other a little better.
Yeah,
Get
it's
to know.
been fun.
Yeah, it's been fun. I appreciate y'all.
Well, good show. Good idea, Roger. I just
Yeah,
wanted to
great
add
idea.
one more thing about Doug. Doug makes the strongest cup of coffee you'll ever drink in your entire life. First cup of coffee he ever made for me, I was doing laps around his house. I'm like, how the heck can you drink this stuff? No wonder you're up all night for
Oh
3
my God.
hours of the
That's
night.
funny. Isn't it funny the different perspectives people have?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think that, but that's good to know.
My mom made the strongest tea, and she still does. I mean, if you go, you have to, like, not to offend her. You go over there and you pour you half a cup of coffee and put a little water in it. It's like blacker than black. But
My grandma's coffee was like that too.
yeah. Well, one of my old buddies told me, he said, the way I check and see if it's too strong, he said, if the spoon stands up, I won't drink it. Other than that, I'm good. He just. All right, y'all.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Yep. Happy Thanksgiving,
Good night, everyone.
Roger,
Thanksgiving.
Barnaby, Jeff, and Chris. And what a great group you have in chat, Roger.
Oh yeah.
Our chat's
Yeah.
the best.
Yeah, they're one of the reasons we do this. And
Absolutely.
Doug asked me, when we were talking that initial phone call, why are you doing this? I'm like, basically it's to get the truth out there and to learn more of it. So y'all are on this journey with us, and we appreciate you.
Yeah. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Happy Thanksgiving. Good night.
Good night.
Good night,
Thank y'all.
Barnaby. Good night, Jeff.